All right, we have on the line right now Dustin Hazer. He's the head brewer with the Southern Tier Brewing Company from Lakewood, New York, and he will have his brewery will have 2 beers at the Utica On Tap event March 22nd. How you doing today, Dustin?
Hey, not bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing quite well. So tell me a little bit about the history of the Southern Tier Brewing Company.
Well, we were originally founded back in 2002, did the official grand opening in early 2003. Started out as a relatively small production brewery. About 3 years ago, we moved into a new facility in the same town just across the street. We've kind of progressively grown at a good rate over the last 10 or so years. Back in 2012, we finished out being the 35th largest brewery in the country, and that was right around 62,000 barrels of production, and last year we closed out just under 90,000 barrels. So I don't know where we officially fell in 2013, but I know we bumped up the list a little bit.
Well, those are definitely some good numbers, and you talk about you're definitely expanding. I had the opportunity to live in Nashville for a year, and the restaurant I was working at actually served the Southern Tier 2 times IPA in the bottle. So you're going as far as Nashville. How far out west or south do you go?
That's a good question. Actually, we're in 36 different states and 7 countries right now. We're up and down the entire eastern seaboard. We just launched into Texas and Louisiana this past year, and then we kind of skip over a few states, but we're actually as far west as Washington State. That's
awesome. So how many beers do you have? And we're going to get to the beers that you'll have at Utica On Tap coming up in just a little bit. But I want to know a little bit about how many beers you offer with the Southern Tier brand name and how they came about.
Right now we have about 42 different brands that we do. They're not always available all the time. We have certain standards, and then we have a bunch of different seasonals that will rotate through here and there. This upcoming year we'll break out, I think, 9 new brands actually. So it's a new and exciting year for us here this year for sure.
Well, I got to say, I am a big fan of Southern Tier, and I always get excited to hear when they've got a new one coming out. I'm a big fan of the IPA, which is the first beer I want to talk about. Tell us a little bit about the history of. Now, there's so many IPAs out there. What makes yours different? What makes yours really stand out?
That's a great question, actually. IPA is one of the original 4 beers that we did, and the perception of IPAs in the market and beers in the market has changed so much, because when that beer first came out, it was considered this over-the-top, hoppy, West Coast, really aggressively hopped IPA, and that was about 10, 11 years ago. The recipe hasn't changed this entire time, but now all of a sudden people almost consider it to be more of a malty and balanced IPA.
Right, because so I think that not to cut you off, but I think that's a lot of the case of that is there are a lot more people that are attracted to or interested in drinking IPAs.
Yeah, absolutely. You're definitely right. And as people's palates kind of progress, they tend to like hoppier and more bitter flavored beers. So that beer for us, that brand has been solidly consistent across the board, and it's just interesting to see people's perception of it kind of change. But it's been a big seller for us, ever since the beginning.
Well, I definitely do have to say that I am a big fan of that IPA. Now, one beer that you guys offer that is going to be at Utica On Tap March 22nd at the Stanley Theater is the 2X Stout. Now, I've had the 2X IPA, but I have to be honest, I haven't tried this 2X Stout. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a milk stout. It's a double milk stout, hence the 2X. So it has a little bit of lactose sugar in it. That's what makes it a milk stout by definition. So it'll have a little bit of residual sweetness. The lactose isn't fermentable, so it doesn't get eaten up by the yeast. But it's got those traditional hints of coffee and chocolate and roastiness like most stouts do, but just has that little extra added sweetness to it to give it a smoother finish.
It definitely sounds really good. Well, we'll be definitely looking forward to having Southern Tier here at Utica On Tap. You're a New York brewery. I'm sure you offer a lot of jobs in the in your area of New York, and that's always a benefit. So we're happy to have your beers and looking forward to that. Dustin, thank you so much for talking with us, and you have a great day.
Yeah, thanks for your time, man. You have a good one as well.
All right, bye-bye.